all again. I have been thinking about everything we left unsaid. I know I probably didn't deal with it like the rest. God, it feels like these past 2 years been nothing but a test.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody today? Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And thank you so much once again for keeping up the support. We are close to reaching 28,000 of you. And the channel's actually grown by almost 10,000 subscribers in the month of September. So thank you, all of you who keep joining day after day. I think I'm getting like 500 subscribers a day. Just insane. And I appreciate every single one of you. Right, let's get to it because I wasn't here yesterday because I needed a break. I needed to start packing and I wanted to treat myself. I actually took myself out to steak. Yes. This is my fine steak. FYI, fine dining in Kuala Lumpur is so cheap. Like my steak actually cost, I think it was the equivalent of about $29. That would probably cost me 3 times more in London or in New York or somewhere else. So definitely, if you're passing through Kuala Lumpur, check out the fine dining because everything is cheaper here, but this isn't something I would just usually do otherwise. But yeah, it's good to take yourself out sometimes. Don't have to wait for anyone to take you out. And actually, when you take yourself out, ladies, you set the standard. So I will not be accepting anything less than steak. Thank you. So that was what I was up to yesterday. What were our faves up to? Our faves were hanging out with Kevin Costner and Oprah and some other fine people at an event at what was apparently Kevin Costner's private polo club. I mean, Sir definitely made a pretty penny in Hollywood. So they were at a fundraiser, which was hosted by Kevin Costner. They actually managed to get home without a single bit of detection. I mean, they scooted right on out of Dusseldorf. Didn't see them arrive back home. Managed to evade the paparazzi completely. Amazing. So this was the 1805 charity event to raise money for first responders. And Ellen DeGeneres was also there, and her wife Portia. And they were joined. They actually joined him on stage at one point. They were there as his guests. And yeah, Harry and Meghan were seen chatting to people, just seeming very relaxed. I posted a video, and I think Baron has posted some videos as well. And Kevin Costner said, "Good afternoon, everyone. I get asked a lot by my friends who have no manners. Kev, what's this place cost? Was it worth it?" He says, "I can simply tell you, on a day like today, it's worth every penny." So they also presented him with an honorary award. And yeah, just supporting their community. they were pictured with a lot of other people in the community as well. It seems like everyone just really knows them, like just Harry and Meghan, not the Duke and Duchess. And I did see one post. I think it was actually from one of the local priests about the couple, and it just seems like they've just found their place amongst the community, and they really are a part of the community. And I'm sure some of you will remember it was maybe one or two Christmases ago when they sponsored the Christmas parade, and they were there cheering everyone and just getting involved in local events, local things. And even in the was it the variety interview where Meghan was talking about or I think the person who did that interview just kind of saw that Meghan gave Archie like a basket of fruits and stuff to give to his classmates. So it just seems like they're really settled there, really happy. And regardless of what the tabloid media want to say, definitely not shunned by their peers, their celebrity peers. I mean, this is the type of nonsense that they've been writing. This is all 2003. Hollywood elite avoiding Harry and Meghan to stay in William and Kate's good books. What would William and Kate be able to offer these celebrities? It didn't really go down well for Tom Cruise, did it? There he was helping Kate up the stairs because her husband wasn't bothered at all, and he got ripped to shreds for it. Because that one small gesture just made it more glaringly obvious how much William doesn't care about his wife at all. And so they had to come out with all of this, oh, he broke royal protocol. And why did he grab her hand? You're not meant to grab a royal's hand. Well, he had to help the lady upstairs because the husband wasn't doing anything. And why are we, talking about Hollywood people in a derogatory manner? That kind of phrase, elite, Hollywood elite, kind of gets used as a way of attacking people from Hollywood, when William is the head of BAFTA and he's flying over celebrities to Earthshot when he didn't even fly over the people that won the prize. But it goes back to what Harry said in one of his interviews when he was promoting Spare, that they have to take and hold control of the narrative. They can't lose control of the narrative. Because if you're looking at these headlines, right, they have created a whole alternative universe. This is what the derangers think is happening, and this is what is actually happening. It must suck to be a hater. Right, to your comments. Hi everyone, if you're just joining, please hit that thumbs up button. Hey everyone. I love how you all greet each other in the chat. Also, do forgive me because I forgot to put it on a slide. Mr. Hariam, do I say his name properly? Harry and Meghan's friend, who's the photographer, right? So he noted that there is a website, I believe it's called GOTV, that has basically gone on what I'm going to call a clickbait binge, where they have been churning out all of these articles about him, and then you putting Harry and Meghan's name in the title and all in the body of the text. So it's like Harry and Meghan's friend said this, friend of Harry and Meghan said this, but it's like literally, if you type in GOTV and Harry and Meghan's friend, it's something like 10, maybe 20 articles. Now, what's interesting about GOTV is that this is a Pakistani website. It's not a British tabloid. It's not a US tabloid. And basically, what they're essentially doing is Harry and Meghan's name gets clicks, and it also has a very high what's called a CPM. So that's basically what Google AdSense pays for a certain search term. So obviously, this foreign website, has figured this out, and they are pumping out all of these articles, basically the exact same thing as the UK tabloids do. So they've basically understood what the model is, and now they are replicating it. Now, those of you who have been listening to me for a while know that actually, I want to say a couple of months ago, maybe a year plus ago now, I actually discovered a couple of um, anti-Harry and Meghan / royal news channels that were literally pumping out 30 to 40 videos a day. A day. There was one particular channel where I was literally scrolling for a good 1 or 2 hours trying to get to the bottom. And when I did get to the bottom, I found something really, really interesting about these particular channels. The earliest videos that had been posted on these channels, one of them had I think it was like a Microsoft tutorial. It was like a bunch of tutorials to do with Microsoft and computers, and it had what sounded like an Indian accent. And then the other one, the guy actually showed his face. I believe he may have been Indian or Pakistani. He was showing his face, but so they never deleted the original video. So this is how I know where roughly where these videos came from. At some point, these channels changed their name, changed their content, and started pumping out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. And what's also interesting is that they use computerized voices. So it sounds like a native English speaker is making these videos. And I remember some time ago, a man tweeted, and this has been like shared around squaddy royal circles for a while, that the hating Harry and Meghan um business is just that. It's a business. It's a multi-million-pound business going into billions now. And so the question becomes, well, how do you stop this? If you've now got individuals and news organizations outside of the US and the UK now jumping on this model. This is one of the reasons, by the way, because a lot of people say this to me, and I remember very early on when I started this channel, people would literally yell at me in the comments. I'm talking literally rip me to pieces for using the term Meghan Markle. And the reason I use that term is because the hater channels use that term. And so if you use Duchess Meghan or Meghan the Duchess of Sussex, your videos and your articles just aren't going to get to the top. And all people are going to see is the hater stuff. And they've realized now, like, just how powerful Meghan's name is. But it's just a matter of SEO, guys. Like, I don't use the phrase Meghan Markle in my videos as a disrespect to Meghan, or even because I like using that name, because she is Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, even if haters want to have a tantrum about it. But if I was to use, Duchess Meghan, my videos would just never get found, and we have to try and drown out the noise. So I hope that explains that, because I remember, like, oh my goodness, people would literally come into my inbox. Why do you use Meghan Markle? That's not her name. Well, it's just a matter. It's Google's fault. Blame Google. And these hater sites spewing the hatred that they do, because I can't even imagine what type of money they're making. And Meghan said it herself in the Netflix documentary. And you got to remember, websites like the Daily Fail, you're talking about almost 100 million visitors a month. Anywho, rant over. Legs, you said, I think that the Wales introduction at the BAFTA is a glaring example. They were met with silence. Imagine demanding respect from hardworking individuals. Yes, hardworking individuals who you said are beneath them because they're actors and entertainers, but you need them for your own shine. I mean, I remember seeing one article that was like, oh, Megan needs to understand, we don't do Hollywood. You don't do Hollywood, but as soon as your own stars get a bit of clout and shine, they're running to Hollywood because you have nothing to offer them, or you're doing nonsense like this. This is London Hughes. She is, I think she's, do forgive me, I think she's black and mixed with Hispanic, or yeah, she's of mixed heritage. But she is a comedian, um, and entertainer from the UK. She moved to LA, so she's been in America for some time now. When the allegations about Russell Brand came out, she spoke about her own experience being told by agents to be careful. She's now come back to the UK for a show. And this is the headline of the review that they wrote. London Hughes, a night of self-congratulation and name dropping, but no Russell Brand. Why did you want her to mention Russell Brand? For what? She already spoke about her experience on Twitter. And it just proves the point. Why, if you have talent, would you stay somewhere that treats you like this, especially for a black woman? Apparently, the review, even though it was only 3 stars, was pretty decent. But I mean, putting this in a headline instead of just focusing on her. Right, let's get to your comments. Rahini said, yes, the 5 million business model relying Meghan makes money. Indeed, it makes a lot. I mean, some of these people, they've been doing it for 6 years. And you can see how furious they are about the fact that they don't have access. And this is why you've got the Daily Express writing sometimes up to 40 articles a day. Can you imagine writing 40 articles a day and just having to make them up out of thin air? I can't imagine that. It is enough work for me on top of a job just to get all the information I can get to do like a 2 hour show. I cannot imagine writing 40 articles literally out of thin air about that one time that Meghan bought that hairspray from 5 years ago. I mean, wow. On a certain level, you could actually say it's kind of a talent, but it's a talent where you're a complete and utter prick day in and day out. Oh, can never be me. Hey, Miss B, how you doing? Everyone, go subscribe to Miss B. Joseph Bruno, hello, Discordies. Good sausage news about us. Yes, here we do good news, relevant news, truthful news. We don't have to make up crap. Jay Muller, for how long are they going to use her for sales? For as long as they can get away, for as long as it's profitable. For as long as it's profitable. Yolanda, my YouTube page was flooded last week with anti-Meghan paid adverts. I tried to block them. It showed me it originated in Israel. Oh, interesting. Well, I remember some time ago also seeing a one of these wannabe Meghan Kellys. She had a whole channel which actually had nothing to do with the royals. It had nothing to do with pop culture or anything like that. But she had this one video which was anti-Meghan. She was completely belligerent throughout the whole thing, could barely even understand what she was saying, but she was going after Meghan. And she actually used that video as a paid ad. That's how it came up on my feed, to try and get traffic to her page. Unbelievable. Rosanna M. No worries. I think a lot of people are just very confused and they don't, I think maybe because we've been on these royal streets for a while, we understand why this keeps happening, but a lot of people don't. They're just like, oh, they're crazy, they're deranged. Why do they keep doing this? This is stalker behavior. No, it's just they're doing it for clicks. That's what it's for. And unfortunately, when news is hateful, it goes a lot further and is a lot louder than positive stuff that is the truth. And that is why you've got anti Harry and Meghan channels that, are going up to almost 500,000 subscribers. I mean, I just, who are these people that are watching these channels? I don't understand. And what's interesting is, every so often I do peek exactly what they're saying on these channels. And it is just complete and utter lies. It's so interesting how you can present something, and even though what you're looking at is the complete opposite of what's being said, people will believe it. Ugh. Thank you so much, Black Queen. Yes. Thumbs up, please. Let's beat the algorithm. Annie, I couldn't write 2 and they're writing 40. Yes, somebody actually collated it. I'm not making that up, by the way. There was one particular day where it was either the Daily Express or the Daily Fail wrote 40 articles about Harry and Meghan. Somebody actually put these on the spreadsheet. If I can find that screenshot, I'll bring it back so you can see it. It's insanity. Absolute insanity. I mean, I don't know if no, they'll never be able to like trademark their names or anything like that, but the only way you can defeat it is if you go after the advertisers. That's it. Either you go after the advertisers or you bankrupt these outlets via lawsuits. I don't know, but I don't think it's going away for a while. Or in the end, which I think might also happen, I think the derangers might just eventually get bored of losing, get bored of seeing Harry and Meghan win. I mean, for how long can you say that this couple is failing? For how long? People can see with their own eyes. Doesn't look like failing to me, but I guess I have to distract from things like this. Republic. Republic, the anti-monarchy group in the UK, they posted this. They said that they staged their first ever protest inside Buckingham Palace. I wish they would have added a little bit more context about this. How did they get into Buckingham Palace? Did they, were they doing a Buckingham Palace tour? And they just happened to buy some tickets, and then when they got inside, they staged the protest, because it's not like anybody can just go into Buckingham Palace and stage a protest, especially an anti-monarchy protest, which is why, um, listen, all I'm going to say is I've had my eyebrow raised at this particular group for a while. Um, any type of um, you know, fair criticism about the Royals, I think is great. But I'm just saying that I've got yeah, I'm watching them closely because I don't know if they're everything they say they are. I just find it interesting how they seem to get more attention than any of the other groups. Their leader is always allowed on these shows. I don't see anyone else being allowed. And yeah, all I'm gonna say is I'm just a little bit suspicious of them. Apparently there was a protest through London today. I don't have the video, but I have seen people posting it, and it was actually quite a big one, actually. Not anything you'll see on the news, but there was a protest, and these guys managed to somehow get into Buckingham Palace, but they didn't add any context as to how they got in. Anita, you said those channels are bots. They're fake. Don't bother yourself. Yeah, some of them are bots. And then you've got other ones like the body language guy who I've never watched. I've actually never watched one of his videos. But I do know like the Lady C channel, and I don't know if Yankee Wally's still around. I mean, she got banned like 100 times. So yeah, they're there. And I think they'll all get their comeuppance somewhere or another. Rahini said, we need to deal with the platforms. They can control this very easily. I think that the platforms walk a very fine line between getting rid of hate and censorship. And it's a very difficult thing. Um, I know that we, as fans, and I think even if we're just a normal human being with empathy, it's very annoying to see. But from the platform's perspective, they don't want to be seen as stomping on free speech, even though free speech comes with responsibility. And just because it's free speech doesn't mean you're free of consequences. But I think that's the fine line that they walk, and why a lot of the hate channels have not been deleted. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not sometimes getting demonetized. So that's maybe a silver lining for now. Sister, and you said, are there any serious publications in the UK? Because they certainly are not reporting on the homeless situation nor the raw sewage in England's waterways. The big um, outlets like Sky and BBC, I mean, it's not like they don't report on them. They do, but they just don't give it as much airtime or the mass coverage as the other things to distract from that. So they do report on them. I'm not going to say that they don't. It's just not given the attention as other things. KRH, you said the press did the same to Diana, and now she's gone. Political nature in the world proves that people are fine being provided with lie after lie after lie. Yeah, that is true. Ginger Lily, I don't care how they're going to Buckingham Palace. Props to them. Yeah, props to them, but I wish that they would just give a little bit more context, because I'm sure there's other people who would like to stage protests and get involved, and why gatekeep? I mean, it's a cool protest. System, I would be leery too. Wasn't it the same group who had previously used Harry and Meghan's name for clout? Yes, and that's another reason why I side eye them sometimes, because Harry and Meghan are no longer working royals. They don't take taxpayer money anymore. So if your whole point is you're anti-monarchy, well, they're not taking taxpayer money anymore. Why would you drag Harry and Meghan into things now? Yeah, the body language channels are garbage. Never watch them. They literally just make things up. I believe that one of the body language channels did a body language video on Meghan's voice from one of the Archetypes podcasts. How do you do a body language video based on someone's voice? Yeah, and Lewis, I'm not going to put your comment on the screen, but that's kind of how I feel about them. Like, sometimes things just aren't what they seem, and you just have to be careful. Okay. What else did I want to mention? Yes, Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne went on Piers Morgan's show. Apparently, Piers Morgan has nothing else to talk about. Apparently, Sharon Osbourne don't have a job. And not only did Sharon Osbourne go on the show, she also brought her whole family on the show. Now, I didn't watch the full interview, so I don't know, the full context of why they were there, but somehow the conversation went to Harry and Meghan. Of course it did. And Sharon Osbourne started talking about how awful it was that, Harry and Meghan, and sorry, how Harry and Meghan's children only have their parents, that they don't have anyone else. Those children have a grandmother. They've got Doria's side of the family. They've got, Ashleen. They've got a whole circle of friends that Harry and Meghan are building. So, what on earth are you talking about? Those children don't have anyone just because they're not within the royal fold. And then she starts comparing Meghan. I'm going to play the video, by the way. Then she starts comparing Meghan to Wallis Simpson. And then she starts talking about, how it's just so awful and how it's all just going to end in tears. This couple has been solid for almost 6 years plus. And the audacity of Sharon, the Osbourne of the Osbourne family, the family that literally pioneered dysfunctional families on TV, reality TV, talking about somebody else's family. Who are you? It's just incredible to me. Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne's marriage is, I mean, Rocky doesn't even, it wouldn't even describe it. At one point, he almost unalived her, strangled her. She was cutting herself. I think the whole family has been addicted to drugs at some point or another. Respectfully, mind your business and don't be worrying about anybody else. Here's the clip, and then we'll discuss.
What do they do?
Yeah.
Yes,
well, all
Harry's
they do
done
actually.
wonderful things with the games. He has done an amazing job
Yeah,
with
the
the
Invictus Games is a very
That
good
is
thing. His service to his
incredible.
country was good, but the truth is, the only value they have to these corporations was to trash their families, all of them. And I just don't believe anyone
Well, I
can.
mean, just
When you guys are such an extraordinarily strong family unit through thick and thin. Always have been. It's one of the things I love about you most. When you see people who basically disown their entire families on both sides and then pretend they're happy, I don't see how people can be happy when they do that.
No.
no. And the thing is, I've said this so many times, Piers. They're fine, but their children don't have any family.
Yeah.
No grandparents, no aunts, no uncles, no cousins. There's nothing.
Nothing.
Their babies have their mum and dad, and that is what is so terribly sad.
Yeah.
And they know nothing of their heritage.
Where does this end, Sharon, for those two, do you think?
I said it in the beginning in tears. It's going to end very, very badly. And I don't know why. It just keeps taking me back to Edward and Mrs. Simpson.
Yeah.
It's like history repeating itself.
Yeah.
And all of this, cuddly, lovey, holding hands, going everywhere together. It's so disingenuous.
Okay, so what you don't see at the end there, after Sharon has finished being bitter about the fact that Harry and Meghan are cuddly and holding hands and going everywhere like a in-love married couple would be doing, what you actually don't see, because the video cut off at the end, is Ozzy says, well, Sharon, they're in love. And then Sharon cuts him off. Ozzy was having none of it. And then you had the two kids, Jack and Kelly, saying absolutely nothing. Kelly just completely with their head down, flicking her hair, saying nothing. And you know why Kelly was saying nothing? Because she knew that as soon as this video went out, she was gonna get dragged. I mean, I have no idea why Harry and Meghan came up. Did they just, I mean, Sharon and Piers are friends, mind you. So did he just call her up and say, listen, I'm going to have you on the show. If you start talking about Harry and Meghan, I'll give you an extra 300. No, make it 600. Because, just in case your eyelashes fall out, you're going to need some new eyelashes. Like what happened to Victoria Arbiter. So for an extra 600, throw in Harry and Meghan's names in there as well. Sharon is the only one sitting on that couch that is proper going in. The others were like, they probably didn't even know that this was going to come up. I mean, Kelly Osbourne, not that she's innocent at all, but she just looks completely stunned. Like, what have I been dragged into? Hilarious. Oh, Sheila, you said Harry is so far down the line of succession that it doesn't matter. Edward was king. As a Brit, you should know your history. You know, you say that, but it's like these people are absolutely petrified. The way they behave, you would think that they're expecting like a new comet, like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. You'd think that they were expecting that to come back because they are just so. It's like they're in a state of panic. Maybe they really do believe that that Nostradamus prophecy is going to come true. All right, that's all I wanted to say, folks. Harry and Meghan had a good day with Kevin Costner and Oprah and Ellen DeGeneres, and Sharon Osbourne and Piers Morgan can just go away and focus on yourselves. And I believe that Sharon Osbourne actually had a rather tumultuous relationship with her own father. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he even wanted her to marry Ozzy. And she didn't talk to him for a very long time. And then she went to his great when she was doing one of her reality TV shows. She took the camera crew to his grave. Ugh. Yeah, and also Eugenie. And the Spencer side of the family visit Harry and Meghan also, and they talk. So what are they talking about? And I'm sure Archie and Lilibet will know about their heritage. In fact, it's the institution that were trying to take their heritage away from them, going back and forth over their titles. I mean, I'm not a monarchist. I don't believe in all of that nonsense in like officially, but so that the kids know who they are and history knows who they are and doesn't write them out. For that and that alone, I think that they should get their titles. So I'm sure Harry and Meghan are going to do a fine job of letting those kids know where they come from and what their heritage and their history is. It's the institution that's been playing games. Exactly, Shadol. Those children are surrounded by love, not by dysfunction, not by Randy Uncle Andrew. You don't know where he's going to put his hands. I mean, at the coronation, actually, it wasn't the coronation, when they were walking around doing the mourning for the Queen, putting his hand over his daughter's backside. They're not going to have to be walking on tiptoes. Oh, it's Dan Wooten around the corner. Is someone from the Sun listening? Someone from the Daily Mail listening? They are going to have love and peace. Peace under a tree. Not dysfunction in a gold gilded cage. You're walking outside, you're smiling at everyone, but you're dying inside. And everybody else who has a brain can look at you and know that you're dying inside. So what is it for? You're not fooling anyone smart. And Harry and Meghan said, nope, we are not raising our children in that environment. Getting on that freedom flight, and we are going. Rahina, you got too much to say about the family. Oh, please. Say all you want. Outside, you said, and we already know they need people in their peanut galleries. Who's talking about Sharon nowadays? Exactly. I mean, I don't even know what she's doing. Didn't she get fired recently from another show? Oh, Yeah, Legs. Kelly knows that after her last dragon, don't be saying nothing. I mean, the audacity. The audacity of Kelly. Do I still have that video? Or did I delete it? I think I might have deleted it. But you know the clip I'm talking about, right? Where she was on The View and she basically referred to um all people of Latin heritage as just cleaners. Like, how dare you? How utterly how dare you? And the fact that she actually thought that she was insulting Donald Trump by insulting a whole other ethnic group. Oh, get some self-awareness. Well, she probably has some now, which is why she's not saying anything. Ugh. Anyone with eyes can see the monarchy is dying. That's why they are in such a panic. Well, attacking Harry and Meghan isn't going to help. In fact, you're just making it worse. Yeah, that's true, sister. Harry and Meghan have a relationship with the Spencer side. They came to the questioning. Thank you so much for the super chat, Legs. You said Sharon didn't talk to her father for 20 years and he died. She didn't even go to his funeral, so she can take several seats. Indeed. I mean, I don't understand why these people who always have so many skeletons in their own closet feel that they can talk about Harry and Meghan. Oh, thank you again, Legs. You said, I think that oh, I think I read that already. Okay, thank you. I think it was Sheila's comment. You said, although I don't comment a lot, I do watch you every day. Great job you're doing. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Sheila Watson. And thank you also, Deborah Copeland. Appreciate you so much. All right. I think we will wrap things up there. Thank you to the person who bought me a coffee. You remained anonymous, but appreciate it. Right, I'm going to continue packing. And so moving day is Wednesday. Where I'm going from the airport to my place, it's 2 hours, y'all. 2 hours. Oh my gosh. It did. Where I'm going, by the way, I've actually been there before. So that's a clue for anyone that follows me on my travel page. I've been there before, but I don't remember it feeling like 2 hours from the airport to where I'm going. But yeah, all of that to say, even with that, I should hopefully still do a podcast on Wednesday because I'll get there late, but not so late that I can't do a podcast, and it's still within a similar time zone. So yeah, I got tomorrow as normal, and then Wednesday is moving day. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks, and I'll see you at Barron's later. Ciao.